The name Ken Msonda is not a new name on the political scene. My name is Alinafe Mlamba, and my guest today in this edition of MBC Exclusive is this veteran politician. Welcome to the program, sir.
Pleasure's mine, Alinafe.
So you have practically exhausted all major political parties as of today. How does it feel now that you've joined the oldest party on the land?
Well, Alinafe, to say the fact, I'm honored. I'm honored in the sense that don't forget that there was a time when all of us belonged to one party. All of us belonged to Malawi Congress Party under the leadership of the founder of our nation, His Excellency, late Dr. Hastings Kamsubanda, until when multi-party democracy came in, we switched. Those of us joined the UDF, some joined the Ford, and there were some other, in court, I wouldn't say briefcase parties, just out of respect. There were some other small parties that also emerged. That gave us an opportunity as a nation that you have freedom of association. You can join a church, you can join a party, you can join any organization if you share the ideologies and if you share their manifesto. So yeah, as really put it, some of us, I wouldn't say I'm lucky. I've gone beyond lucky. I'm blessed because it's not easy for you to be closer to the powers that be.
So does that mean you've mentioned of freedom of expression? Is that the reason you have exhausted all political parties? Exactly.
If I may put it the way you put it, exhausted in courts. Yes, because I'm simply exercising my rights. It's not constitutional right. Alinafe, I think let's put it very straight here. Looks like it becomes a problem when us politicians change parties. That's a big problem, and everybody says why.
So you admit that it is a problem when a politician changes political parties?
No, it is a problem to those who don't understand. To us, it's not a problem because it's simply exercising a political and constitutional right.
So how do you then justify you're moving from one party to another?
Well, there are several reasons. I'm not going to talk about others. I'm talking about myself.
As an individual?
As an individual, as a politician. And maybe people don't know. They think when I wake up every day, what I do is politics. It didn't just come in like that. Of course, I come from a political background. My mom was a politician. She was one of the first ladies that the late president, His Excellency Dr. Hastings Kamsubanda, approached when he came to Malawi. There were 4 women in the southern region. There was Ken Msonda, Ken Sama, Ken Mlanga, and Ken Maganga. I came to know His Excellency Dr. Hastings Kamsubanda when I was 9 years, if not 10 years. My mom used to take me to Moody. So my father is a founding member of AFORD. My late brother was also a founding member of AFORD. My late brother, Kosam, whom I was born after, was also a founding member of MCP. And people may also wish to know that the current member of parliament for Rumpi East, Honorable Kamlebo Kaluga, that's my direct cousin. My late mom is first born, and his late mom is the last born. So you can see the late Machipi Samtali, that was our grandpa. We come from a political background.
Why then did it take you so long to return to the MCP? Because you've been with the UDF, you've been with PP, you've been with the DPP, and now you're with MCP 2024. Yeah, looking at this background, what took you so long?
No. It's not that it took so long. Everything goes according to time. We politicians, we know what to do, when, how, and where. You may also wish to know, those who are actually watching, that before I joined frontline active politics, I had a very successful business. Some people know I was a partner in Kapuka Private Secondary School, the famous Kapuka that you know. I was a co-founder of that school. So from 1991, I was at Kapuka. Very, very, very successful business. And it was when I was at Kapuka, when the former president, His Excellency Dr. Bakili Muluzi, in 1997, approached me to join UDF. That was the time when there were some misunderstandings within the UDF according to the third-term issue. Remember, there was a third-term issue, and the parliamentarian for Blantyre Kabula was Honorable Jan Sonki. So when Sonki left, His Excellency Dr. Bakili Muluzi, who to me is up to now more like a father, approached me to say, why can't you come into frontline politics? That's when I came into the frontline politics. I was a shadow MP for Blantyre Kabula and UDF in 1997.
You've been in frontline politics
Since 1997.
1997.
Yeah.
But the question is, you have an MCP background.
Exactly.
1997, 2024. What took you so long? Because MCP was there all these years.
Exactly. You
Or were you trying to serve your own personal interests?
No. In my political career, if you follow me, and if those people who follow me, they will actually agree with me that I usually don't join a party. I've never joined a party. They approach me.
They approach you.
Yeah, as I said, I didn't join a UDF.
So then,
They approached me.
if they approach you, you have the right to say yes or no.
Or no.
What was
Exactly.
making you say yes to the offer?
No, sometimes you weigh the options. You weigh the options to say, all right, there's this opportunity here. If I might put it that it's an opportunity, but there is this opening here that a head of state wants you to come in and help run the affairs of government. And mind you,
Now, are these personal interests or interests that can help the nation?
no, it is, to me, it is a calling that I should serve my nation. You know, in politics, there are civil dynamics of politics. People join politics or people join a particular political party for different reasons. If you ask each and every politician, very few will tell you the truth, like I do. My truth sometimes sounds like I'm rude, but very few politicians will tell you the truth. People join politics or a party in government due to different reasons. As for me, it's a calling from God. It's a calling from God.
Mr. Msonda, you've joined the MCP barely months after you were fired from the DPP. Much as it is your political right to join any other party, first of all, do you think the action by the DPP was justifiable?
Well, of all the questions that you have asked me, and I don't know how many are left, this is the climax, because I'm sure those who are listening would definitely would like to find out what happened. And
do you think the action was justifiable? Yes or no?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. Yeah, because even the reasons that were fired doesn't make any political sense. Neither does it make any constitutional sense. The reasons are neither here nor there. But as you say, there was no justification up to now. And you may also wish to know that when we were fired, I can say this without fear of any contradiction. 2-3 weeks later, the president, His Excellency Professor Alinafe Mlamba, called me. He didn't know that I'm fired. You can't believe it. He didn't
So in
know.
other words, you're saying
He didn't
the
know that I'm
party
fired.
officials did this behind ABM's back.
That's what I was wondering. Because
Exactly.
because if you remember Alinafe, this came in after some sequence of events that never made sense. You know, there was this NGC meeting that was called by the SG then, or Jeffrey, which we attended, and then 2 weeks later there was another NGC meeting which was called by the new in brackets SG, Dr. Mali, which we also went to attend. And at that NGC meeting, my father, then my political father, His Excellency Professor Alinafe Mlamba, was so angry in courts, was so angry.
Let's talk about this.
Yeah.
Let's talk about.
I'm getting there.
Let me just take you back a bit. Before you were fired from the party, APM addressed you and told you that you are causing trouble within the party, and if you continue, you have to return back to PP, where he said in quotes where you came from.
Well, that one, let me put the record straight. APM was not addressing me.
But your name was mentioned.
Yeah, I was just a sacrificial lamp, because in that room there were a lot of us. Not only me, I was a sacrificial lamp, and Alinafe and Malawans are watching. I'm not surprised, because whenever I am at a group of people, I become a target, if I may say so. I become a shining star. So in that room, if you go back, in that room there were a lot of us who belong to other parties, including APM himself. He came from DPP, UDF. So to say you can go back to PP, he was not talking about me. There were so many people in that room who came from PP, so many people who came from UDF, including APM himself. We
Mr.
came
Msonda.
from different parties.
Mr.
So
Msonda,
to answer you,
APM.
Alinafe,
APM
yes.
addressed you as stubborn.
No.
Are you stubborn
I am.
on the political arena?
Well,
Are you stubborn?
I'm not stubborn. If anything, I'm a troubleshooter. Bring trouble to me, I'll shoot it down. So being a troubleshooter and being stubborn, they're two different things. I'm a troubleshooter. You bring your trouble, I'll shoot it down. That's why I'm saying in that room, I was a sacrificial lamb.
How then do you justify your criticism? Because you are one of the vocal politicians. And if I'm to give reference to the incidents that happened, even the time you were with the UDF, it was something similar. You chose a Friday Jumbi's camp. What made you choose Friday Jumbi's camp? Because in this case, it almost seems as if history was somehow repeating itself.
Well, that's maybe where some people have decided to deliberately forget my political career, where I've come from. I've never chosen any side, not even during the UDF as you're talking about. I'm somebody, as I said earlier on, I'm somebody who, if you bring trouble, I'll shoot you down. It was the same thing during the UDF. There was this kind of a confusion in the party, and I was trying to bring the party together, which I can say also without favor or fear of any contradiction. I saved that part as well, UDF, because it was a time when, the leadership was also at a cross still. I'm the one who brought it together. And to say I belong to Jumbe camp, there were no camps there. It was one camp. It was one party under the chairmanship of Right Dr. Catherine Chilomba and Jumbe. Because of what I did, that party came back. The same thing is what I was trying to bring DBB together. I've been there trying to bring the party leadership together. Unfortunately, those who fear me politically thought of expelling me without even the knowledge of the president. I repeat, I was fired without even the knowledge of the president, because 2 weeks later, before I was fired, I have to borrow what you're saying, Alinafe. I was dressed down. APM addressed me, and I apologized.
You apologized.
I apologized.
No.
And if you take it back, Alinafe, if you watch that video, you see that after I apologized, after my father was crossed with me, we came together, we laughed. So it means he had forgiven all of us, not only me, Alinafe. I repeat for the third time, I was a sacrificial lamb.
Now, if you were to look at the incidents in the UDF and then in the DPP, much as you say you are a troubleshooter, as you call yourself, do you think your actions have caused unity or divisions within the party, these two parties?
Yeah, in fact,
have they or they haven't?
No, they have not, because the leadership of the party were not reading between my lines. They were not reading between the lines. Had they taken my advice, some of these parties talking about wouldn't have been where they are now. Just like the DPP, if they'd taken my advice to unite the party, mind you, Alinafe and those who are watching, I did not just start it. These problems came in soon after DPP lost the fresh elections. And maybe people have forgotten the whole misunderstanding. I'm the one who started it, because I said, and I quote, I'm the one who approached my father, APM, to say, Excellency, you've done your part. Don't come back 2025. Malawians will remember you. He accepted, and I went on air to say APM is not contesting again come 2025. Because of my statement, others came in. The Manamveka, the Nankuma, and the rest came in because of my statement. And since then, Malawians, APM or the party never fired me for saying APM is not going to come back 2025.
In case you're just tuning in, this is MBC Exclusive. My name is Alinafe Mlamba, and my guest today is political veteran Ken Msonda. We'll be back after this short break. Welcome back. This is MBC Exclusive with me, Alinafe Mlamba. In our program today, we are continuing with Ken Msonda, political veteran. You were kicked from the party.
Yes.
How did it make you feel? In 2 words.
Well, I'm not disgruntled. I'm not disappointed. I'm somebody who's going through thick and thin. That's why when I was kicked out from the party to borrow your weight, I never appealed, because I knew that I was going to be kicked out, because they staged a kangaroo disciplinary committee. And when I appeared before that disciplinary committee, I told them off that this is a kangaroo disciplinary committee.
So this kangaroo disciplinary committee, as you put it, if you were to look at the decision that they made, how do you think that decision affected the internal dynamics of the party?
Actually, that's one of the worst decisions any political party has ever made. And because of that decision, they have actually made DPP weaker. And if DPP bounces back, it will be a miracle. And that miracle will take Jesus himself to come back.
So do you think there is need for changes, political changes, reforms within the DPP?
Not only the DPP, as I said, Alinafe, I'm done with that party. Let's not talk about it.
From your experience,
no.
Do you think there is need for reforms? Because this is you saying that party, it will take ages for it to bounce back. So do you think there is need for changes?
No, Alinafe, if you look at the history of political parties in Malawi, it's not only DPP. Some parties had the same problem. Those parties were now, to quote the former president, His Excellency Dr. Bakina Muluzi's own famous statement, some parties were actually finishing like Makata. They went through the same problem. There's no intra-party democracy. That's why the problem is with our parties in Malawi. If the parties in Malawi practices intra-party democracy, which I think it is only in MCP where there's intra-party democracy. In MCP, now they are preparing for the convention. You can see that people are free to contest at the convention. That's intra-party democracy. Now, because of lack of intra-party democracy in parties, that's why other parties are finishing like Makata. And I can say that DPP is also going to end up like Makata. Because you have to agree to disagree and then you move together. That's why some of us were there in the thick of things to make sure that this party comes together, let people agree, let them go to the convention, and let the delegates choose the right candidate. But because of lack of intra-party democracy, that party is gone. That party is gone.
will be going for its convention soon. How do you think you're going to be of relevance within the party? Because as it is, you don't stand a chance of holding any position within the party.
Well, I'm happy and I thank God that I've joined a very strong party. The strength of a political party is its structures on the ground. MCP is the strongest party in Malawi. It has survived out of government for 25 years. No other party that was formed during the multi-party democracy can survive outside government for 25 years. I can bet my life. Some parties are gone just within maybe 10 years outside government. Some 5 years outside government, they're gone. But you can see that MCP is still there. So I've joined a party that is very strong. As I said here on, the strength of a party is its structures on the ground. MCP is very strong on the ground. Well, what kind of relevance am I going to bring in? That's a question, and that's a question that Malawians are trying to find out. Well, when I joined MCP, actually I was approached, as I say, I was approached.
You were approached?
Yeah, I was
join?
I was approached.
To join?
Exactly. I was approached by...
Who approached you?
22 traditional leaders from home, led by our own parliament, Chikula Mayembe. So
in other words, it was not a personal decision in the first place. It was a decision that was made based on the influence of others.
No, what I normally do is...
No.
Well,
you were approached.
Yeah, I was approached.
Did you have an intention of joining the party in the first place?
I didn't have any intention.
You did not have
any intention? No, I didn't have. Actually, my intention was to make sure that DPP comes together. But because I was kicked out of the party, to borrow a word, I was fired from the party. I'm a politician. I had to make sure that I advance my political agenda using other platforms. And when my chiefs, approached me to say, now that you're fired, there's always an advantage at anything. Even during funerals, there's an advantage. When somebody dies, somebody benefits. You know that or nothing. So because I was fired, some people took advantage and they summoned me to say, you're a politician. They've kicked you out. Why can't you join MCP? And then I said, okay, chiefs, I'll come back to you. Let me consult. I prayed. I consulted my spiritual fathers. I consulted my mentors. And thank God that all of them whom I consulted, they gave me a blessing to join MCP.
The day you joined MCP, the very same day in the morning, you made it public that you're going to support Kondwani Nkrumah. Don't you think you betrayed him in one way or the other?
No, nothing. If you remember earlier on, I said we politicians, we know what to say, when and how. And why?
But you changed your word in less than 24 hours.
Exactly. I never betrayed him. In fact, he knew.
So then, you made it public that you're supporting this person.
Exactly.
Barely 24 hours, you change your word. What does that make of you? As a politician, are you someone who holds on to his word? Or you can just change the game anyhow?
No, not only a politician, Alinafe. Maybe you forgot. I'm a born-again Christian. An evangelist.
So do you hold on to your word?
Exactly. Sometimes that's what I keep on repeating to say. You have to know what to say, when, how, and why. In the Bible.
Why then in the morning did you say you're going to support Kondwani Nkrumah?
Because if I told the media what what was going to happen the following day. I was going to preempt the function that was going to take place. And mind you, I was meeting the head of state. So I was not supposed to preempt. In the Bible, there's a story as well, Alinafe.
So in other words, you used it to fabricate.
Not to fabricate.
So how do you justify that you support someone in the morning and then in the afternoon you change the game?
No.
How do you justify that?
Actually, I said
as a born-again Christian
exactly,
and a veteran politician
that's why I was...
Are you someone the general public can rely on as someone who will hold on to his word?
In fact,
if they had to give you public office today, are you someone who's going to hold on to his word?
Actually, people know that I'm someone who's matured. I'm
not talking about maturity.
No, it's maturity here.
Are you capable of holding on to your word?
It's a combination of maturity and wisdom.
Are you capable of holding on to
exactly, your word? Exactly. What I said, there's nothing like lying. There's nothing like not being trustworthy. There is a situation here, Alinafe. That's what I was telling Malawi.
Don't you think you have an issue when it comes to decision making and especially standing firm to your word?
No. Alinafe, if there's any politician who is actually so perseverance, if I may put it in that way, it's me. I don't leave a political party.
Now, looking ahead, what are your future plans and aspirations with regards to politics in Malawi?
Every politician, if you ask any politician who's serious, you tell you that I would like to become a head of state one of these days.
So you'd like to become a head of state, yet you have practically served almost every political party. And I wouldn't be surprised if you tell me that you have all the manifestos of these parties right at the back of your head. I wouldn't be surprised. What lesson have you learned having served all these parties?
Then enough, I'm a better candidate to be head of state because I've saved all these people I know. Unlike those people who have just come in, they've saved nobody. And I'm a better person because I'm matured.
Are you planning to use the MCP for this?
No. I wouldn't say I'm planning to use MCP.
How do you plan to execute
I have ambitions to become a head of state.
How do you plan to execute that?
That's why I'm still in politics. If not, I would have retired and given up. So it is the ambition of any politician to rise higher. If you ask a councillor today, she's going to tell you that she would like to be an MP. Ask an MP today. He's going to tell you that you would like to be a minister. Ask a minister today. He'll tell you that you'd like to be a head of state.
How would you describe yourself and your value towards the political landscape in Malawi?
Unfortunately, in Malawi, we celebrate people have done nothing as if they are celebrities. They've done nothing.
What's your value?
That's the problem. Google me and see what I've done.
What value have you brought?
I've saved this country. I've saved this country as a board member of Macra. I've saved this country as chairman of MTL. I've saved this country as a very successful businessman. I've got a lot of people who are now holding very high positions in society, who were my students at Kapoka Private Secondary School. That's value. Unfortunately, in Malawi, you speak good about somebody when he's dead. When you're alive, nobody speaks good about you. And I know that if I hit my button today, enough you will also come and speak a lot about me when I'm dead. That's a waste of time because I'm not able to understand or to listen to what you're saying. So the value that I've brought to Malawi, people should know.
You mentioned that you're born-again Christian.
Exactly.
As a born-again Christian and someone who is aspiring to hold the highest office on the land, there was a video that was circulating quite a year ago. You caused quite a scene at a courier company. How do you justify your action? And looking back, do you regret what you did?
No, I don't regret. In fact,
is that the way you resolve issues?
Exactly. Actually, physical demons, I cast them physically. There are demons, you don't cast them prayerfully. Physical demons, I cast them out physically. Even Christ cast some demons physically. That's the problem some people have. But because you're born again Christian, you're too prayerful, it means you're stupid. No. Calmness, and how can I put it? If you are calm, doesn't mean that you're stupid. That is strength under control.
Mr. Msonda, it was very nice having you in this edition.
Pleasure was mine, Alinafe, and thanks a lot. You gave me a lot of tough questions here, but I think Malawians have got what they're looking for. And please work hard, and I wish you well. Have ambitions. I said earlier on, you should not end up being a reporter here. I would actually pray for you that you have to open your own media house as well, because these should be our ambitions.
Ambition is what he is trying to communicate in this edition of MBC Exclusive. My name is Alinafe Mlamba. Until next time, goodbye.